Jessica, man, yeah, welcome, man. It's crazy. It's hot out here. Hot. It's like a summer day. It's like a summer day. Should be hitting the. Well, we ready to hit the summer solstice, right? No, not yet. June. Man, I hope to get this pool done because early in the morning I like to take my dip in the pool, walk, exercise, and take a dip in the pool, right? Well, anyway, I just started to stream here on YouTube. Supposed to go on straight on Facebook, but I'm gonna definitely go on Facebook too. Let me go this way over here. And what I want to do is, start doing that from now on because I know I got a lot of more people. Well, I got people that get on YouTube, but then later on I got a lot of more views on Facebook. To be honest with you, got a lot of subscription. So just wanted to say that I know that everybody's having a wonderful Hadarun, Hadarun Zamut day, you know, Hadarun Zamut, wonderful day. And like I said, it's always my pleasure. It's always my duty, take a note of it, my duty to share with you certain things. And, salud, mi hermano, amor, pandog. Yeah, so it's my duty to share, what I'm saying, to share experiences, and things that I experiment, and it's things that I experience. That's very important. I'm taking the long way because I'm gonna walk a little, you know. Mi hermano Silos Conga, man, bando, mucho amor, man, mucho amor, brother. You keep it real. You're special to me, man. Keep it real. But like I said, I'm also living life and learning myself, every day, you know. And I speak on certain things because, again, as experiences, experimentations and experiences and making a lot of mistakes in life. Thank you. Thank you, Bondo. And a lot of these mistakes in life you learn from. And you just want to pass it on, make sure that everybody else is, if they're not aware like you wasn't aware, that they become aware of it, so as to limit the amount of again, harm and things to natural nature, you know what I'm saying, to humanity, to things in natural nature, because you can't harm natural nature. No way. Natural nature is what it's the all is that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's another woo level, you know what I'm saying? But the fact is that you know we experience things, and sometimes we learn from elders. As I'm saying, we should uplift elders, elevate elders, and learn from their mistakes, or learn things that they experimented, or things that they have achieved in life. What I'm saying, you can learn. So like I said, being groomed as a spiritual master or inspirational master, that means we have the ability to inspire. You see, my way is through the music, through the percussion, and also through the lessons that I've received to help, because we were inspired. So we're helping others to inspire themselves. And that's very important. You know what I'm saying? When you help others you inspire them to do good. You inspire them to do good. You inspire to do better. You know what I'm saying? You inspire them with different things, like music. A lot of inspirational music. You inspire them to do things. Sometimes, the inspiration can be a little negative, and that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? When it's in that negative vibe, but sometimes it's necessary. That's all I can say. I'm not picking and choosing. Sometimes it is necessary, yo. I'll be honest with you. So that's the way it is. Anyway, spring is in the air. Spring is in the air. And let me tell you something, bro. Pretty soon women start wearing some chic clothing. I am also going to I'm going to start also featuring more of the music. I've been inspired by a couple of artists, hip hop artists, children that was born and brought up in the land and saw law and born and making music. So I've been inspired by them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna feature some stuff that I think is very, very, very important because it's culture. You know, taking it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? They're representing. And in which way they can express themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I got some great ideas for videos, man. Great ideas. So gonna get there. Anyway, I don't want to stay here too long. Y'all, I'm going to end the stream here. Just want to let you know that you know, it's a beautiful day. You probably, wherever you at, I know it's a beautiful day. It's gonna be wonderful. Whatever you're experiencing, get at me if you need any of, my experiences that maybe can help you to see it from another way, even though you won't rock that way, but at least see it from another perspective. That helps a lot. You know, sometimes you go to a person, give me advice for advice, but then sometimes you're like, what they say might help you really look into yourself. You know, listen to your voice. You say, wow, that person's using their voice, their truth. Let me find my truth. Let me listen to my voice, my truth. You know what I'm saying? And then confirm it. Always, always try to confirm it. You know, sometimes your voices can lead you astray. And sometimes it can lead you to the right places. You just have to, again, do the work, test it. Rahul back. Yeah. Yes. Alex, appreciate you also, my brother. So, like I said, I'm learning myself. And sometimes, advice that I give, sometimes it's just to help people see the advice they can give to themselves. They listen to that inner voice, put those pieces together, you know what I'm saying? That like I've done, and you could do it. Put those pieces together and seek out information. Sometimes you can drop information, say, hey, yeah, check this out, and let that person do their own, development. Because everybody have a different way of using things, you know what I'm saying? You know, I've been privy to learn different sciences out here and learning what is spirit, what are spirit beings, what are shadows, in our dreams, and a lot of these, because I also experienced them myself. And I learned through experiences in those those experimentations in life. Seeing what it did to my life and saying like, I don't want that for nobody. So I'm definitely going to do my best to make sure that it doesn't happen around me. You know what I'm saying? That again, because of all those dynamics of love and being in love, not loving something, but being in love with all those dynamics exists. And I understand that if my brother's all right, I'm all right. If my brother's not doing well, and I won't say, bro, if my kin ain't doing well, my kins are not doing well, then I ain't doing well. Because remember, we all that one being. But when my kindred is having a little discomfort, a little dis-ease, a little discomfort, then, we all have to collectively get together and find the healing. You know what I'm saying? And practice that, the healing for each one by each other. Find that healing process. And that's what we learn in the Ansarullah Jamiat, Ansarullah, the community of Ansarullah, the multiversity of truth, of Sawab, the multiversity of Sawab, truth. And we were healing ourselves at the same time. We was healing ourselves and healing each other. And with the master teacher there, also doing healing himself. Check that out. There were certain things, and he even told us, certain things he had to burn out. You know what I'm saying? Certain things he has to burn out, certain things he has to heal within himself. And at the same time, we see that happening with us because he is the first to bring us to that level of healing. That we know, or not he's the first for us in this day and time for us Sabians But he is the extension, the continuation of the healing process for one from Noble Drew Ali to Elijah Muhammad and the Sheikh Dawood and on and on and on. Many healings that went on. You know what I'm saying? So he carried a scepter. He carried a staff on. The staff was passed on. You know what I'm saying? And so it's important for us to do that for each other. You know what I'm saying? For each other. And I know that, when your heart is right, man, it's not nothing that you cannot accomplish. You know what I'm saying? When your heart is right, it's right, man. You become a force of nature. When your heart is right, when your qalbi or your gupt or your ibab is correct, right? Sahih, right? What happens is you become a healer, a helper. Ansar, Nasar, Nathar, forces of nature that heals. You can also become a destructive force, so you know that. They are destructive forces. Ansars that were not about healing, but it was about deconstructing. But then other brothers had to come in and pick up the pieces and heal and reconstruct. You know what I'm saying? I keep it above. Sometimes that's what happens. I have ran, as Ansar in propagating years ago in the early 80s, because I stopped propagating in 81, but that's when I stood at the fruit stand. But when I first got there, I was propagating 79, and I ran into a few people in the street that was like, "Yo, man, all I did is ask this brother, go ahead, man. He just turned me apart, blah 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 blah." That dissension and that hate was planted there because the brother came out with a sword and just started chopping people. But when he came to me and I explained to him and I exhibit my character, personality, and the way and the Ansar, the way I roll, it healed him. He was like, "Whoa, thank you. You just lifted me back up, man. I'm gonna give me what books you have," and he brought books, and we build. You know what I'm saying? But prior to that, he already had a bad taste in his mouth when it came to Ansarus, when it came to brothers, kins propagating out there. But like I said, sometimes those forces work like that. You know what I'm saying? You might meet a negative force or something, which is what it's doing is just moving you towards a positive force in some way. So you got to look for the positive. You got to balance it out. You know what I'm saying? You just got to do the work and balance it out. And sometimes it'll come to you. You know what I'm saying? Look at that brother. I mean, he didn't ever expect it, and he spoke to me. He thought that I was gonna, badger him and with the sword and just badger him with the words, with the doctrine. But it was the opposite. I reconstructed because I knew, the way he explained to me, and then I knew that the brother had tore down his whole very foundation and everything. So I was like, well, let's build on that. Let's reconstruct that. I think what he was a Christian. No, I think he was a Christian or 5%. I don't remember. All I know is that his doctrine, and we had to replace that. You see, that's one of the things that our master teacher says. If you're going to destroy something, make sure you have something to replace it. You're going to deconstruct something, make sure you have something to construct in its place. If you're going to go and attack people's doctrine and stuff, you make sure that you have an alternative doctrine to replace that with. Because you're going to create that void and you're going to create that hate, jealousy, and a lot of these shadows that you're going to cast shadows. You have the power. The minute you start learning knowledge and you start getting this wisdom, you have a power in you and you're going to realize you have a power to destroy somebody's mind, to destroy somebody's character easily with your words. Or you have the power also to heal them, and you have to be very conscientious of it, cognizant of that, and very conscientious of that. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that you have this ability, the more you know, the more you account it. for. That's what that means. The more you know, the more you're accounted for, because the more you know, the more you have this power of gap. Gift of gap. You have this power to actually destroy somebody's belief system or somebody's mantle or the way they're thinking and their spirit, that inspiration that was inspired by somebody. So there's people out there that watch television, Christian television show, and they're inspired. Oh my God, they're inspired. Then they come across you and you tear that down. Boo, ba, boo, beep, ba, boo. Man, you tear it down. You know what I'm saying? But then you have to inspire them again. You know what I'm saying? Replace that and says, listen, this here, there, you know what I'm saying? And just introduce them to another perspective. So there's another doctrine or perspective to see which one works better for you. You know what I'm saying? And truth is truth. You know, the truth is truth, man. Don't duck because you're gonna be a fool. That's why I say I don't debate, because I'm gonna be giving truth, facts. That's all I want to do is give facts and truth and let you say, check it out, validate it, see if it's valid, if it can stands on his leg, and that is factual. Because if it is, and you start ducking and you start going around it, you're gonna expose yourself. You're gonna be a fool. I don't want to do that to you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be a fool because you're ducking when the facts are given to you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also careful of the whole scholastic thing. They have this narrative, primary sources, and this and that, and these different methodology and stuff like that. You also have to be careful with that. And I say that because I've read up a lot on UNESCO doc, right? A good book. It's almost 700 and something pages, written by a sheikh, a professor and a sheikh who started a university in Nigeria that right now it is affiliated with Harvard University, I believe, or Yale, one of those schools is affiliated with it, because you know how Harvard is. They'll go to Africa, they'll see an institution, and they will sponsor it, and they will put it they'll give it like a charter. You know what I'm saying? The same thing, they give it like a charter, And so with this check, in this university in Nigeria, wrote primarily the book. Spoke a lot about the book, it's a methodology. And who's calling? I'll answer later. So so one thing they came across, it was that a lot of the methods that they used didn't fit into the African story or the African tribe. The methodology. Oh my. It's gonna have to wait. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to wait. So the methodology, you know what I'm saying, just didn't fit. So you gotta be careful with certain indigenous or certain native stories. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of it is passed on to crafts like weave basking or iron casting, and as that passing that craft down, they're telling certain fact stories, you know what I'm saying? To help navigate them through the art of weave basking or whatever they're doing. And so it didn't fit with these oral traditions. And you got to be careful with oral traditions because it can change. As time goes by, some things are lost. That's why a lot of it are now being documented, which is good. You know what I'm saying? But you can't apply a lot of that methodology sometimes to it, especially some of the historical academia. See, academia are the Greeks, and when they came, academia is a Greek word. Academia is a Greek concept. You know what I'm saying? And when the Greeks started to get involved, when the Greeks started to get involved, you know what I'm saying, they took it and they rebranded it and reformed it so that it fit their echo, their habitat, and the environment, so as to postulate, to perpetuate their economy, their way. Their inspiration to each other. Those families and the inspiration to each other. So as to strengthen their spirituality and strengthen their civilization. The Greeks did that. So we got to be careful with academia, because a lot of these institutions come from that vein. That's why I was privy to know that as being a student at NYU and being a student at the Ansar Multiversity, which was an institution that the teaching was from the East, from teachers from Morocco and Senegal, was African teachers. And then our master teacher, Panaba Yanan, and his connection with Africa and spending many times out there with the tribes and connecting with his family out there, which is also my family, and connecting with that, you know what I'm saying, and bringing back and from so we got teachings from an African perspective, you know what I'm saying. So that's, you got to take all of that into consideration. You can't just lean too much into what they call standard academia. You got to understand that academia, a standard academia, is just that Greek construct. But when you deal with the African experience and the African institution like Timbuktu, which at the Arabic, they was Arabized, and a lot of those Arab Sheikh scholars use Arabia and use those glyphs and their manuscripts. I just downloaded so many manuscripts from Timbuktu. There's almost like 80,000 or 70,000. I don't know why they keep calling me. Jesus Christ, I need to stop. He needs to stop. He needs to stop. You know, so there's like 80,000 manuscripts, and I have them online. And but and their primary sources, and speaking that narrative, because these are in Arabic glyphs. And I was privy to learn a little Arabic, so I can read. I just have to just look up the words and stuff. And I'm gonna see if with my Mugdal, who translated a lot in Arabic into English, to see what he can help me with in terms of understanding some of the stuff that I cannot understand. You know what I'm saying? But that's deep. You know what I'm saying? So there's like so again 70,000 manuscripts that are what they're doing is with the fourth industrial revolution, what they're doing is taking a lot of those documents and they're scanning them and putting them online and putting them in archives online as they create. So this is the multiversity. You know what I'm saying? So you got knowledge from there, you know what I'm saying? You got knowledge from all sources. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about the Arab states and Islam is that they invested a lot of the time in going collecting a lot of manuscripts and listening to oral traditions and actually writing them down because it was a university. Timbuktu was a university, so you had scholars, you had teachers that was their job. And in university, you also have museums, you have archives, you have museums that students would go out. Archaeologists would go out and then bring in a student to translate who's studying in that language. This university is an area, a multiversity. A university is an area where you have a lot of that going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of interdepartmental, unity, and working together to. The whole idea in the multiversity is to create those archives and documents and to store them as the museum. Museums are institutions. Museums are institution also. Muse is for pleasure. Museum, muse me, right? But it's pleasurable. You know what I'm saying? And it's it's part of the institution. There is an institution involved with a museum. All museums are considered to be an institution where people can go there and learn and read and research and do different things like that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the universities are linked up to it. Some of them have their own museums, some of them are linked up to proper museums, bigger museums. And so there is this connection. There is this back and forth sponsorship and connections. You know what I'm saying? And that's important. We as a nation, that's what we're building. You know what I'm saying? The museum Edifu and in the land. And this was this was the vision that was from the beginning. And Panaba Yanun lived it and actually manifest those visions, you know what I'm saying, remanifested them, we live that culture. And today's day and time, that's the culture we live in. There's stuff being done in Trinidad. There's stuff being done around the world. And there's stuff that's going to be done in Africa, in Mandombe, Congo. There's stuff going to be done there in terms of what Hana Bayananan started. It's going to continue globally. You know what I'm saying? So we need that man. You know what I'm saying? He is, we need to honor what he did. We need to honor his contribution. We need to honor him, and know that he is, the one that set it up. Okay, man. Let me get out of here. I got people my son's calling me up, knowing that I'm out here walking to the store and they're ready. They're in the store. They want to do this, do that, but they don't get their butts out and go to the store themselves. Anyway, peace, all and blessings to you all, and man, let's keep inspiring each other. Let's keep moving forward, man. Let's go forward and let's inspire each other, man. We have such a legacy to live up to. We have such a legacy to postulate, you know what I'm saying, to perpetuate, to postulate. We have that legacy. And let's keep it going. That's the reason why I'm doing a lot of these classes. I did one on family lineages and stuff, how important that is. And the festival, there's a Z Festival coming up June the 25th and 26th in Stone Mountain in Georgia. There's a festival there. There's going to be a lot of activities there. There's going to be family there. You know what I'm saying? Hoping to see elders and get introduced to the grandkids, the kids and the grandkids, on and on and on. And then so I know that when the right time comes and I come in a nice festival, maybe in Orlando, I could bring my children down or and they can meet, at least have that vision, you know what I'm saying? That sight, the optic, that sight of what's out there. You know what I'm saying? All right? All the blessings.